I know the world is going mad.
You want civil war, but you lack conviction.
Okay, we'll vote for Starman.
You never been intimidated by something you haven't done. You got me, you got you, don't feel alone, never feel it's just you. It's not just you, it's not just you. Oh, it's like a but it's not just you. We have an army, it's not all the way, we are the people.
Commander Watt, but don't be a cunt.
We have a heart, we have a head.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
I'm having a ball.
They make a course correction for
You, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
Marxist shites with blood on their hands. 100 new there, but for them it's okay. They went to uni, studied home economics. Yeah, that will save the day. They'll say we never heard a fly, and you can't call it a lie. They never laid a hand, they never took the land. They just let the people starve in a slave state. The array others who got to work too late. Utopia. Utopia. The prison for the mind. An excuse to make slaves. Utopia. A fictitious state. Freedom enforced.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tom Fury, and this is Zero News. I just realised that looks way too late, doesn't it? Please excuse me. This is, as it says, a test stream. And while I do have some things to talk to you about, this could be ropey. I'm using StreamYard, which is normally quite reliable, but I'm using the mobile phone version of it. I'm trying a free trial, which is what the delay was. I was trying to get the intro uploaded, blah, blah, blah. So it may not be easy to do. I don't know yet. So we're going to find out. So it's not a normal show in that case. But as you know, I'm trying to up the... Now we've got more of you guys watching. It's time I started editing videos like I used to. I'm a video editor. Yeah, and I've been lazy. And also other things needed to be looked at. So about time I got myself back in the game. So it may be a bit ropey as I get there. So just before I get on to what I wanted to talk to you about, and also I'm hoping if anybody wants to jump on there, I might be able to get you on. And I've also got your chat here. Remember to go in the chat settings to change the chat filter to live chat. Otherwise, it will filter the chat, so I can actually see what people are saying today. So before I go to the subject today, I just wanted to say to you, so today's video where I looked into Israel and Saudi Arabia and everything else. If anybody wonders, why didn't you push it further? Why didn't you push it for more answers? The truth of it is you have to do it in sparing amounts, because if you do it with any bias, if you do it with any elongated stretch of trying to push for the truth, it will lean into your biases and it will start lying to you or making real world events seem bigger than they are. And it will lean into your bias and it will lead you down a conspiracy theory route, right? Because it's called AI sycophancy. It's a real term. Have a look it up. So you've got to be careful to draw the line. So you can push the window, but it will eventually end up lying to you one way or the other. Because again, through AI sycophancy, it will indulge your conspiracies, which is why you have to draw a line how much information you get, so you don't allow it to take you down that road. I hope I'm making sense. So that's a very important thing to understand with it, which is why I disengaged when I did. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about, we've looked at the left and, the Charlie Kirk situation, just how mental things are and how mental they've become and how seemingly, intolerant they are to human life. And people, and I'm very much uninterested in television culture. So things like the BAFTAs were a month ago. So there's like a story that happened there I wasn't even aware of, but I don't know if you saw it. But there was, I got a couple of pictures here of things I took. But there's a guy who released a film about his lifelong struggle with Tourette's and Tourette's syndrome. So he if you don't know what Tourette's is, it kind of, you have these kind of tics, and in some people's cases, they have that they will speak involuntary things, and often they're like the last thing you'd want to say. So I might be sitting here now saying, guys, I'm really sorry I stole that donation. Cunts deserved it. I'm really sorry. I promise you I didn't steal anything. Fucking cunts. Right? It can cause you to do things like that. It causes people to do things like that in certain percentage of cases. It will cause people to say the most inappropriate things. Now, if people are comfortable with it, they're okay. But so anyway, so during the BAFTA awards, two black guys were on stage. I can't remember who it was now. You would know them. Again, I'm not into TV culture. And they were talking about the awards and whatever else. And from the crowd, someone shouted the N-word. And obviously there was, ooh. And the BBC in their wisdom not only did not bleep it out, but they also didn't bleep it out in the reruns either. They've not bleeped it out, they've left it in. And it caused a big ooh. And then the people at BAFTAs wheeled someone out quickly just to let them know, hey, look, the guy that did that has got Tourette's and he can't help it. Sorry if you're offended, but he literally cannot help it. Yeah, that should have been the end of it right there. There's this nutcase called Randolph, and other people who went to town on this guy. Now, bear in mind, the reason he was there was a film based on his lifelong struggle with Tourette's. Yeah. And this is, I mean, a lot of people jumped on this, but this particular person, the reason I'm picking this person is because there's other people who are just as bad. But this Ray Randolph said, no matter how Tourette's works, that's the BAFTAs subjected Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo to that outrage. To subject them to that is outrageous and shameful. No matter how it works. The poor guy, after going through years of suffering with his condition, actually came out and said, he shouldn't have had to apologize. But he came out and said, I was horrified. I was horrified. But this is the condition, but I was absolutely horrified with it happening, etc., etc. So the poor guy was, after doing a film about a struggle with this, he's then demonized and forced to come out and apologize for saying he cannot control. So he did apology. He said, deeply mortified if anyone considers my involuntary tics to be intentional or to carry any meaning. I've spent my life trying to support and empower the Tourette's community and teach empathy, kindness, and understanding from others, and I will continue to do so. I choose to leave the auditorium early in the ceremony so that because I was aware of the distress my tics were causing, right? So he even took himself out of the game, yeah, which he shouldn't have had to do. And she got back to that. She couldn't leave it there. She got back to that, and she said, back to Mr. Davidson. Considering he knew this was a horrible word, he shouted uncontrollably. He should never have done. He should have done everything he could to keep this from happening. So she's basically saying, don't go, or gag yourself, or drug yourself so you can't talk. How else would you stop it from happening? So this is tone deafness. The same people that are trying to stick up for minorities are now picking on disabled people. You name it, they're picking on them now. Like the group's becoming more and more and more exclusive. The LGBT is becoming more and more and more exclusive. So now even people with disabilities, right? So sorry, let me just continue. So carries on. She said, and it's telling he voluntarily left the event after this, as he, in his own accord, could tell what he had done was horrible. Like that's an admission of his guilt of something. Of course, Mr. Davidson deserves to attend the ceremony. So she's saying he can go where a film about it is being celebrated. But as he preaches understanding and responsibility, I wish he had demonstrated those same things himself last night. How? What more could he do? This is tone fucking deaf. Tone deaf. She's got support with this. A lot of people jumped on this. Where's the one I'm missing? Oh yeah. And this was the one. This was the one that total shows you the left have completely lost it. They've got no scientific understanding anymore, no grasp of the truth, and no empathy whatsoever. Zero empathy. It's all about the virtue signaling, and they will virtue signal over a mentally disabled man's body, right? She said Tourette's, this is her interpretation, obviously. Tourette's means no filter, which it doesn't, by the way. That is not true. Tourette's means no filter, which means this man thought it. Despicable. Despicable. The BAFTAs out there making fools of themselves and the entertainment industry. Fucking tone fucking deaf. These are the people that would call you a racist. These are the people that like to use words like misogyny, bigot, bigotry, Nazi, same people, right? And now they're going after disabled people. They go after everybody. They go after everybody. It's all about, you know, she's trying to do that to look virtuous. And it's like I said to you once, a person on the far left will jump in the middle of the road because they see a mouse that needs saving and they want to be a hero. It's got nothing to do with the empathy for the mouse. And that's the problem. They want to be a hero. So they jump in the middle of the road to save the mouse, not thinking about any of the other consequences. They cause a 9-car pileup, killing every single person in every car. The person, any normal person would go, oh, what have I done? A lefty would hold the mouse up in triumph and say, I've saved the mouse. That's the problem with their way of thinking. That is how they think. And it's inhuman. They don't have those. How are we getting so many of these people? They literally don't have a connection with humanity. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, let me bring your comments and stuff up. I don't get how these people can keep being this tone deaf. I mean, it has to be deliberate at this point, right? You can't put this down to just being ignorance anymore, surely. Or is it? Or is it? You tell me. Listen, if you want to join me, try and copy this into chat. And we can test that out as well. I can't say it will definitely work because I said first time doing it this way, but you're welcome to try. Anybody fucks the stream up today, anybody jumps in trying to cause trouble, all I'll do is end the stream immediately because it's only a test stream anyway. So it won't be no odds to me. I'll just close it down. So yeah. So and it won't bother me to close it down either. So but if you do want to come in, you're welcome to. Let's have a look at you guys. Actually, let's have a look at you on here because I can see more things going on here. So yeah, I will get all the everything, you know. I just don't know which I'm going to go with yet. StreamYard's is one option, so I'm trying things out to see how the mobile version truly is. And at the moment, obviously, it's operationally different from the normal one. So I want to get used to all of that so that I'm quick with the controls and that. If I'm quick with the controls and it works, then we'll see. We'll see. But I need to be able to. I'm used to being able to tweak things and mess with things on the side whilst I'm talking to you guys. Has to be able to do all of that, or it's no good. Morning there. Thanks for everybody coming on. Thanks for people saying hi. AI will tell you what you want to hear. Exactly. It's called AI sycophancy. The reason AI will tell you what you want to hear has happened because of all the safeties they put on it. So the safeties aren't safeties. They're corporate liability filters, and they've turned it into a sycophant. So it doesn't challenge you. AI will never tell you you're wrong. It will make you feel small, but it will never tell you you're wrong. It's not allowed to. So there's so many things you've got to be careful with it. But I don't want to go into AI with this because people generally don't like this subject. So let's get off it. I will copy someone's speech. Sorry. Yeah, me copying the Tourette's thing, right? People with Tourette's, not they're comfortable with it if you're not taking the piss, yeah. And that's it's not the best impression I can do, but it, you know, it is kind of, again, only it affects about, I think, either 9 or 19% of people, the ones that tick the things they don't want to say. But it's not true that it is a reflection of what's inside. It's not true that it takes the filter out. The fact of it is your mind works in random ways, and you know, if you're honest with yourself, you've all thought things that have surprised you because it's just a random thought that came out of nowhere. But those random thoughts that most of us don't even notice on a daily basis because they are filtered out, come out. But everybody has a filter, and if nobody had a filter, then everybody would be racist because these comments would come out of everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. It's if it's inside, it's only a primal response, and it's only, like, for instance, it is. I've got a form of something like this. It's not Tourette's exactly, but I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about with me. And this is slightly involuntary with me. I can't help myself, and I have to talk to some people in customs and that when I go on holiday about this. I give you an example. I went to Jersey, and this is what I want to stick up for this guy as well. I went to Jersey, and you may have noticed my eyes tick in that, yeah. So that's why. So I went to, I've never talked about this before really. I went to Jersey, and it's something, you know, if you get on a plane, if you're met by customs, you don't joke with them. You don't make jokes like, oh, I'm carrying extra cigarettes or whatever else. Because even if you joke, they'll take it seriously and they won't find it funny, and they will search you and possibly punish you. Yeah. So, you know, and I knew, don't fuck with them. Okay. Just leave them alone. And got to Jersey, and this big old lady from customs, she said to me, she said to us, saying, oh, hi. She said, you know, what are you here for? And I said, drug running. And I did it with my usual serious face, drug running. Right? And then, because I didn't have a chance to tell her that I was like this, I then said to her, I have a fucking death wish. What else can you say at that point? I have a death wish. I have a death wish. And then I had to, she was really cool, by the way. She tried to suppress a laugh and she couldn't. She ended up laughing. She knew, she could see, but I was full of shit. Yeah. But I wasn't even trying to joke. I don't know why it came out of my mouth. This happens to me a lot in airports and stuff like this. And like I say, I have a tick as well. So, and you may have noticed it with my eyes. That's me trying to suppress something. So yeah, you know, so I get it. And I wasn't drug running. I've never drug run. So if it's true that what's inside you comes out, then why did I say I was a drug runner when I wasn't? Do you know what I mean? It's just stupidness. And this is the totally intolerant left for you. No one's trying to get in, are they? No, I don't think so. You're welcome to come in if you want. The link's in the chat. But I'm not going to be on too long as it's a test stream. But yeah, you know, and so even in my experience, which isn't the same as someone with full Tourette's, because they're going through that experience every day. With me, it's more just tics that I have to control, which are horrible because I'm aware that you might see them. So I'm constantly trying to mix them in with my body language so that they're less visible. Because I'm aware of them the whole time. I'm aware of them all of the time, every single time. It never goes unnoticed. It's not one of those, because you see people that they have these like involuntary tics and they're not aware of them. This is completely different. You're aware of every single one. You feel it coming. You try and deal with it in as much as you try, like I say, incorporate it into your body language, make it look like you're blinking when actually you're kind of twitching. You know, yeah, it takes mental energy to do that, and people don't realize it. So, you know, I felt real sorry for that guy because what I go through is nothing like what he goes through. He's on it. I'm sorry. He's going through that on a daily basis. People say, I see you say you're unfiltered. Most people think they're unfiltered, but most people are filtered to some degree or another. I used to call myself unfiltered until you realize there's certain things that you won't say, or there's certain things that you will only say when you've charged yourself up, or that you say with a different set of pressure on you, and you realize that actually, yeah, there is a filter system going on. Regardless if you say what's on your mind or not, there's a filtration system going on. It's how you weigh up danger. You know, so we can all call ourselves unfiltered, but the fact is, very few of us really are. We're just more or less capable of just saying to people what's on our mind. I'm very capable of saying what's on my mind. The problem with that is our minds are random, and I can overshare. I can be prone to overshare, you know. But the good side of it is, you know, you're going to get whatever I'm thinking, as opposed to some premeditated, contrived, fucking political or politician answer that is just wasting everybody's time and space. You know, at least if I got something, I'm going to tell you. Thank you. That was really nice of you, Maria. Thank you very much. And I'm sure you're a lovely person as well. And there's a couple of times I've seen you say some really nice comments, and you seem like a lovely person yourself. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, I'll put it in one more time, yeah, because this is only a test today. But I needed to, one thing as well, I needed to be able to see if I could even see with the, you know, my eyesight the way it is at the moment, even see StreamYard on a phone screen. Because although it is the app version, it's still shite to see. The link's there. If anybody wants to come in, the link is there in the chat. Obviously, please show your face, even if you don't want to show it in the stream. It will bring you in the back, and when it's in the back, only I will be able to see you. Please just show your face to show that you are not a troll or whatever else, because obviously we know certain trolls and stuff like that. Once you've done that, if you don't want to put your face on stream, you don't have to. You can just use your voice. That's fine. You like the bunker? Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's cool, except I forgot I've moved the green screen out, haven't I? Ah, shit, I didn't set that up properly, did I? But yeah, the bunker's pretty cool. So we've got just got a studio light up that side. It's got a bit of daylight coming in that side. That was why I was so bright. I've had to take some of the daylight out. I've only got, my hand there is about 15 centimeters away from the other wall. So that's how thin an area I'm in. But it's long. It's long. So it's not got much moving space, which means I can't move this green screen around much, but it's close enough so the green screen's working. So sorry guys, I wouldn't normally talk about the behind the scenes stuff, but since it's a test stream, it's nice for people to notice this kind of stuff. Oh, Capricorn, there we go. Let's bring Caps in.
Hiya.
Hey, how you doing, Capricorn?
Congratulations on your first live.
Thank you. Thanks for helping me test this stream, and your voice is coming through perfectly for me. That's great. I was worried it was going to be all bad, but it's coming through brilliantly. How you doing?
I'm all right, yeah. Yeah,
So,
I'm all right.
You brought up a subject of if you wanted, or did you want to talk about any things that we've talked about so far?
No, I'm not fussed really. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to talk about.
You talked about representation of women in the movement.
Oh yeah.
Is it? Do you feel? Where do you feel like they're being represented the least well?
Well, after I listened to your stream the other day, I kind of reflected, because I'm pretty new. I've only been on YouTube for less than a year, really.
Okay.
So I've come from the outside, so I'm looking at different YouTubers, and majority of my YouTubers are male.
Yeah.
And there are a few females I follow. So yeah, that was my point a little bit. Not that I assumed they were underrepresented.
No, I didn't take that. No.
I just thought there's not many female voices in the
movement or whatever.
Yeah, in the movement, like you say, for example, Talk TV, you'd get Ola on, and Marilyn, and Maggie.
Yeah. We used to get people like Lauren Southern and that. We used to have a lot of girls like that. They've sort of petered off a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah. So
That is,
I
it's
mean,
true in terms of the creative point of view. It has tapered off a bit. But would it help to know? Would it help you to know? Because it surprised me because I've been trying to get my female audience up over years, and
mm,
I had to understand it first, understand how many people were using, and I
yeah,
didn't realize that YouTube is or was, I don't know if this is still fact today, but a couple of years ago it was something like a 70-30 split of
yeah,
70% male and 30% female people using YouTube back then. I don't know
right.
if that's still the case. So you've got less females trying to do it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a feminazi.
No, I know
I'm
you're not.
very
I know you're not.
old school feminist, I suppose.
Yeah, which we
The
need
feminists
more
that are
of.
coming through in the last, 15, 20 years horrify me.
How do you feel with the feminine? Yeah, okay. So you're a good person to ask then. So you're old school feminist, right?
Yeah,
So any man that calls himself a feminist is just trying to get shagged. So I'm not going to say it, but I appreciate old
yeah,
school feminism, right?
yeah.
So what is it about modern I don't want to put things in your mouth.
They've,
What is it about modern feminism?
in a nutshell, they've feminized men. I don't like it. Whereas I came from an angle equal, and yes, I'll probably get some flack for this from a builder or something. I have
No,
done
you go for it.
I've done heavy jobs, believe me. I've done nights on DPD. Enough said, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have done heavy jobs. I understand, and I also understand that for 20 years. And I will go, actually, I'll go on about the white male in education as well. That has been horrendous. I've seen it over the amount of years that unless you're good at sport, you've got no chance. I've not brought up a son, so I can't have an opinion on that. And kudos to women who have, produced a fine young gentleman out there. But yeah, they've been hammered, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Have been absolutely hammered. But
I think that's why you're seeing such a movement of all these influencers and that now. It's a response to men's natural. And the thing of it is, do you find men attractive as a result of that feminism?
I don't think attraction comes into it, to be fair, even though I have got a bit of a crush on Rupert.
But you know what I'm getting at though is, do you not find that these feminized men are less attractive? They're not, because they're not embracing their roles.
Yeah, I can give you quite a few examples. Namely pink hair guy.
Yeah.
Pink hair guy. That's
I mean, would you trust a lot of today's guys to defend you and your children with their lives?
Only from a certain demographic.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah.
That's why I fully support the likes of Thomas Chester, Angloid. There's a couple of others I can't rant and reason, and there's a couple more. I kind of follow and support, which is a good thing because they're on the right side.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How about?
I'm not into this.
Go
I'm not into
Missy.
Softening the men. You don't need to soften the men. If you want equal,
These days we need to harden guys up because of the damage that's been done.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Kind of. Yes.
I don't mean harden them up towards women. I mean harden them up towards life.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose I'm a bit blessed because I know quite a few young chaps in my extended family who are coming up the right way. So there is hope. And
what about I mean, in America, it seems like it's over or it's nearly over. But for you as a woman, what you obviously have cared about these things to even talk about them. How did it make you feel with the whole transgender movement and how that's affecting women's rights?
Well, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and the writer of that book, J.K. Rowling,
Hmm.
I'm kind of on her side.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, what I think about it, I mean, I'm a big believer in whatever goes on in the bedroom, goes on secret, private. You don't have to go out and advertise it.
But this is you say
Why?
advertised. You know something? The percentage of people who were transsexual even before you could have the operation
Mm,
stayed consistent over a period of about 100 years, right? And
yeah,
then in the last, I think it's 15, where it's been hyped, it's gone up. The amount of people that suddenly decided they were transgender went up by thousands and thousands of percent.
I think it's
Um,
deeper than that, Tom. I think it's a lot deeper than that. We have to look at the victimhood epidemic that
yes,
came in the 90s, late 90s. And that just spiraled. Every celebrity jumped on that wagon. Um, it's everyone, worship the celebrity. No
yeah,
wonder society is bonkers. I
yeah.
don't get it.
Do you think the celebrity worshipping's over now though? Because it seems to me like the public, the people. I mean, admittedly, they're gravitating to online personas. I'm not sure that's much better, but it does seem like celebrity culture is being rejected.
I hope so. I really, really hope so because they've done so much damage.
They have.
Uh, so much so that they were coordinated through the jibby jab phase. They were coordinated through the next phase after that as the silence phase. Yeah, they.
Is it amazing a place like Hollywood that has Disney that also owns part of the news? So Disney, the greatest storytellers of all time, are also telling you the news. Not a conflict of interest there, is there? Um, it's frightening with the way Hollywood's tried. I mean, they've knowingly lost money trying to force us to think the way they want us to think over the last decade. Everybody knows it.
Mm, I
When
mean,
was the last?
they're dark. I mean, they've been dark for what, say, 20-ish years. They've been
What other
dark.
group of people, like Capricorn, what other group
Yeah.
of people would get away with being caught for sexual misconduct and then lecturing the world on their conduct? Consistently getting caught doing things and then lecturing the rest of the world how they need to be better. I take responsibility. What the fuck?
Well, they don't. They don't, do they? It's performative. It's all performative. It's performative. Even virtual signaling is performative.
Oh yeah,
Everything is a performance. I mean,
yeah,
every Wednesday afternoon down in Westminster, there's a cracking performance going on down there where there's
and
a
that's
guy that can't even answer a question and gets away with it.
and that's I mean, and that's what I was talking about at the
Yeah,
beginning of the stream today, and that's that people were prepared to throw somebody with a mental disability under the bus to gain
yeah,
virtue signal points.
yeah. Or it's used. It's another one of them. It's used. It's another card to use, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
another card to be used. I mean, I'm not dissing anyone with genuine mental health conditions, but unfortunately, there is the side where it is thrown around. And you know what? I'd love to go back to the days of honour, just basic being honourable
on a yeah.
outside.
People
There's no
laugh at that
honour.
now.
Do you know, I blame, and I don't blame the people that were involved in this, but I blame the people that coordinated this victimhood, throw everything out in the wash. People like Jeremy Kyle.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I
You know,
hate him.
it just, I don't want to dwell on that too much, but I'm just going to use that as an
Hate
example that, you know, you're nothing or nobody unless you have a label. You've got to have as many labels on you as possible. And I've always said labels are for clothes, not people. You know?
Absolutely. People hide behind a label.
Yeah.
Or and if you give someone a badge, they will use it as a position of almost Gestapo-like authority.
Absolutely. It's like giving somebody a clipboard.
It's like the average person on here, admittedly, if I gave you a mod spanner, right, you'd see it for what it was worth. Yeah, not a lot, right? And you would just use it. But there are people out there that see it as a badge of authority and will go around telling other people, hey, I'm you know.
I'm a mod here. How dare you say anything?
Yeah.
That contravenes the host or somebody else in the chat. I've experienced. I mean, we've all experienced that.
They're just. I mean, a lot of them. I saw it on Reddit, and they got made out. A lot of them just. The people who were making posts weren't even arguing with the mods. They were just saying, "Hey, I wondered if you could do so and so," and they were like, "No, if you ask again, we'll ban you." And they're like, "Well, okay, there's no need to be so hostile, banned." Stuff like that. It's like, whoa.
It's not that. I mean, I understand if people are trying to change the subject or trying to divert the conversation. That's fine.
You do get hijackers. You do get them.
Yeah, you can try and sort that out. But I'm on about people who have genuine criticism, not harsh, but genuine criticism. You know, they just get
No, you should be allowed your criticism, and this is the thing, and it's like people come on. All I ever say to mods and that is obviously, if people are trying to gang up on one person, bully somebody, dox somebody, anything like that's a no go.
This doxing, I'm new to. I experienced it the other day with yourself, and to be fair,
it's an internet thing.
What I would call Jeremy Kyle mentality.
Yeah,
you know, it needs to be unfashionable now. It really needs to be really uncool.
I'm not gonna stick on this topic because, believe it or not, it encourages them to do it more. What I will say to you is that for most people, it has become unfashionable and intolerable. It's only the desperate.
May I make a point here? If we're going to bring up young men and ladies, you know, we need to bring honour back.
Yes.
We really need to bring honour and respectability back.
Respecting the elders again.
Well, not just not.
No, if you notice how
elders, just respectful. But the thing is, I understand why they don't have respect, because at the moment,
well, they've been taught not
against them. There's a lot against them, but
they've also been taught not to. They've been taught from school age. You know, you've got power over your parents. You don't trust your parents. Listen to us. That, you know. A lot of parents don't realise because they're out doing their hard work. They don't realise that there's kids being indoctrinated at school.
Do you know why? Do you know why that was brought about? That was the Human Rights Act of 1998. That when a child turned 12, the child got rights.
How have we? Exactly. You're exactly right. And that's led us to a place now where children. And a lot of time it is aided by the parents. Children were now allowed to just make decisions on, you know, having stuff done to their body. Mutilation really is what it is. Before they were even at an age to have gone through puberty to really know anything about anything.
Yeah.
How is it possible that we would have, let's say 15 years ago, we would have called that child abuse? How has that happened? So in 15 years, how have we got from child abuse to acceptable?
Because it's been coordinated by all the institutions who have been captured by this ideology, and it has been allowed to grow and fester. Not grow, it's been allowed to fester through
Encouraged almost to grow.
Yeah, it's just been allowed to fester. And, you know, crikey, if we could turn back the clock, but we can't turn back the clock, can we? We can't. But
So when you look at this one thing and then you look around, you see madness going on in all these other places. Is that what gives it away, that it is all a strategy, that it is all deliberate? Because everywhere we look, we see some other kind of madness going on.
more
So
and more.
does that prove the concept that it's not accidental? It's not society just falling in decay. It's orchestrated.
Of course, it's orchestrated. Everything's orchestrated in the last, since the jibby jab. Everything has been. They've had to control. They've had to control through their WEF. They've had to use ESG, which is Environment, Social and Governance. Under that umbrella, they've got the DEI.
Yeah, join us if you want, guys.
It's gone through all of the institutions, unfortunately, and it is going to take a heck of a job to move away.
Sorry, go on. Please continue.
The plus side is I saw some good news yesterday. The EU voted for the new mass deportations that they're going to do over there.
Wow.
Have a look into that. That is such good news. That is
Okay.
such a turnaround. Now,
that's interesting.
It is extremely interesting. The massive pivot. I've got my theories on that, and I'm not going to air them yet because I haven't quite reflected.
Do you think it's for real? Is it for real?
Yes, it is, because Le Pen has won 320 seats. I still call the French party Le Pen because I love Marianne Le Pen. Alice in the AFD has also done phenomenally well. They've gained so many seats now, and because of the pivot change, the pendulum has swung rapidly with France and Germany.
Hang on a second. I haven't said a word about you, Jupiter. Not one single fucking word. Or is this a fake account?
I can't see the chat.
Is this a fake account? I haven't said a word about you, Jupiter. In fact, what I've said about you has been nice. So either that's a fake account or whatever. But I don't know who's been telling you stories, but you're listening to, haven't even talked about you to anybody. Reception of maybe Danny Roscoe, and what I said was nice things. So I don't know what you're talking about. Please don't bring drama here, because I don't know what you're talking about. Right, sorry, Capricorn, please continue.
Yeah, just moving on again. The AfD won so many seats in Germany, so there's been a vast pivot, a pendulum swing, whatever you want to call it, to the right. So sorry, go on.
No, please continue.
So it's going to be inevitable that they're going to clamp down now. So it's a win.
Do you think? No, it's all right. Do you think with reform, restore? Someone was saying to me yesterday, some people think restore really can win, and I think they can, because it's about people. It's just about people, whether they're prepared to really do something or not.
Yeah.
But there's people making the argument that reform has still got too much power, and that the vote will be split before the election, and not enough and not enough in the favour. What do you think about all that?
I don't think reform will get through some of these things that they're going through at the minute.
Steve, could you check that account for me, see if it's fake? Sorry, please continue.
I just think I mean, they've got the voter base, right? But as time progresses and things happen, the more they can't hide the fact that they are the uni party, and they are the replacement for the Tories, and they are the new establishment. We're okay with these people because we can, you know, I mean, they're not going to be able to hide it. They're not going to be able to get away with it. I mean, I'll give them kudos. They walked out of Parliament the other day.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
I think this is what Dino is saying on this stream that people seem to be missing, and that is that the more we get towards restoring Britain, the more we go towards that route, you're going to see more of these parties show who they are and start to side together. Parties that claim to be enemies.
yeah. I mean, I just want to focus on restore really now, because reform. There's too many Tories in there. There's so many Labour councillors on the grassroots that have moved from their safe councillor jobs to reform now. It's a joke. It really is.
Just to let everybody know, as I suspected, thanks Steve for doing the background work there. As I suspected, that wasn't Jupiter. It was someone coming on pretending to be her, which I suspected because Jupiter doesn't speak like that.
I didn't say
So that's
that.
what made...
I've got a lot of respect for Dupes.
Yeah,
I'll
she's all right.
listen to her. I'll listen
She's
to
all
her.
right.
She's one of the strong female voices.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, she's fine. She's fine, and I thought
she absolutely resonates with me.
Yeah, but I know she doesn't speak the way that person spoke, so
right.
I just knew that wasn't quite right, and I knew I hadn't said anything. So yeah, so thanks, Steve. So I've just had to say it out loud because of what happened earlier on. People might assume that she came over and caused the drama. No, she didn't.
No,
that was an imposter. Okay, guys.
If anything, I'm surprised she's only got 3,000 followers. To be fair,
Do you know what though? She's never needed more.
No,
because she's got a good. You look at the audience she holds. She holds a good audience. She's got a good turnover of people. She's always had good support, and she's kind of carved out a niche for herself. So it's like she punches above the weight of the size of her subscribers, if that makes sense.
And she gives people a voice that wouldn't talk or too scared to talk. Or that's what I like.
Agree with that.
I like that. I like
Duke
that a
is
lot.
more like with me. I'm not as confident with people, but she will jump on with anybody.
Yeah,
and she'll have 6 of them on. And I actually, I get that. And so it's not for me. Like I say, I'm sort of two's company, you know. But I get it, and I appreciate. You know, that's what she's always provided. And we need every angle covered. You know, so that's what I mean. As much as people may want us to hate each other and all the rest of it, everybody in this movement serves a purpose. You know, and don't get me wrong. Like I said the other day, if anybody comes for this channel, comes for me, they're going to have a problem. But beyond that, you know, I see the value of people in this movement. Most of them, most of them. There's obviously some I think that are just in it totally for themselves. But I'm not going to go through all that again because I'm tired of it, and I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah, we need to move on.
Yeah.
There are many things we need to be doing than dwelling on.
So I'm going to wind up soon. So I'm going to give you guys one more chance to jump on. But I'm going to ask you a question, set Cats. So last chance to jump on if you want to, guys. So we've got a lot of things to do. We've got to get through the next 3 years, and that gives us the two-sided coin. One side of that coin is we've got to hold out for 3 years. The other side of it is that 3 years is going to seem like a drag in other ways. Sorry, no, it's going to go too fast in other ways, I meant to say.
Yeah.
So what do you think the things we need to focus on the most? Instead of arguing with each other, what do you think we need to be focusing on the most right now?
Right, even though I'm a Restore supporter, we need to support reform in Wales. Hold your noses, but we need to support reform in Wales and Scotland. I'm going to upset the Scottish people here, I know that, but I've got
You might be surprised. You might be surprised.
I've got my views on Scotland. You know, it always surprised me that they didn't get independence when they really, really wanted it. But you see, if they'd have got independence, we'd have had to have reverted to our English constitution, wouldn't we? And we'd have been very independent then, wouldn't we?
That English constitution, like so many people have accused us of talking about American politics.
Yeah.
And they don't realize like how old and how important that constitution is, and how it's been trampled on. You know.
Well, this Jason from America came on to Vin's channel. That was really eye opening. That was a great chat.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And I'll be honest, I go around a bit, and I'm seeing a lot of support from Americans. A hell of a lot of support, which, you know, it boosts your morale, really, doesn't it? When you know there's a load of Americans supporting you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that's partly why I've got the I'm not broadcasting that today because of the test, but well, I've got a channel up to get her that's growing because it's a channel to America to me, and it's kind of partly almost asking for their help, but it's also giving them a window into showing them what's happening to us over here, you know, and they are interested. They care.
Yeah, they've been very interested for a year now. They're really watching everything that is going on. I mean, the thing that made me laugh was when Rupert came out with his new restore, you know, where he's on the farm.
Yeah.
As a bloke called Asmongold got hold of it, and it went viral. It just did. His review on it was so funny, but it was so good as well, and it did restore huge favours because Asmongold sent it all to JD Vance and all the policy on mass deportations as well.
And see, this is what we need more of here. This person has said an independent council has just defected to restore. We need the independents to go to restore.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
Yeah. They've got to be careful, really, who they take on as well, because they don't want insurgency or subservice, whatever they're called. You don't want them people. That's why I think Rupert is great, because he will not engage with.
Yes, I agree.
Drama. He will not touch it with the temper.
Oh, he's too big for that.
And people, say if you said, Tom, if you had an issue, and then suddenly you did a stream that said, oh, well, Rupert should come on here and talk to me about it. No, don't be silly. That is ridiculous behaviour. I mean, Tom, I wouldn't expect you to do that anyway. But do you know what I'm saying?
I want, like, because I've noticed this thing happening a lot on channels and that, people calling other people traitors for not but wanting to vote restore. We can't be like that.
No, not
we
at all.
Can't be tribal like that.
Everyone had. I mean, back in the day, you weren't allowed to tell people who you were voting
for.
I remember I was brought up old school. That was a taboo subject. You just didn't tell people, like you didn't tell your age, and you didn't tell people this, that, and the other. But that's all
and this is going to have to be about winning hearts and minds. You don't win hearts and minds by telling someone they're a wanker if they don't do what you say.
True. It's not going to be a battle of wills. It's
you're going to lose that one every time.
Hearts and minds, but
and that can only be done by extending the hand of friendship, not by telling people they're idiots for voting the way that they're voting. It's got to be a lot more grown up and honest than that, you know?
Yeah, even I'll go as far as to say not engaging, because at the end of the day, that person's got to make their own mind up. Everybody's got that right.
Exactly. So, and if they were compelled to vote, then what would be the point of the vote?
Exactly.
You know,
everyone's got the right. Everyone's got the right to keep their secrets. You know, at the end of the day.
Exactly. All right, Caps. I'm gonna close up. But thank you for coming on. Thank you. It's really been good having you on, and I would hope we'll do it again.
All right then.
You take it easy. Bye-bye. You know how to get out? You know how to get out? Oh, I don't want to ban you. There we go. I think that's it. Okay, so just before I go, I wanted to say something to you that I realised about myself. Don't worry, it's not going to get dark. And I've always been a passionate guy. That's never going to change. I care about the shit that I do, and that's why. It's never going to change. And I'm not going to promise I won't never be part of another drama, because again, if you go after people I care about, if you go after certain other things, I may, or if I feel like I'm being bullied, or if I feel like other people bullied, I may, I'm not going to make promises like that. One thing I have noticed about me though, compared to the me that started in this movement, is I used to be ice cold. What I mean by that is, yes, I had passion. Yes, I had all that stuff. And yes, I would really get on my high horse about things, but I didn't get emotional. There's a difference between getting passionate and emotional. What I've noticed recently is I've allowed emotion to get in the way. And I was a lot more effective as a cold operator. Again, not cold, not emotionless. I've a passion. That passion's always going to be there. That's always going to be a part of me. That passion never spoke to a victimhood. It never spoke to a deep set of unhappy emotions or aggressive emotions or anything else, or defensive emotions. So it's just passion because I care about the subjects. So I realize I've been getting slightly overly emotional about things. So I'm going to tone that back a bit. You're best to use this and not this sometimes. And if I do use this, use it smarter. I've allowed people to get under my skin who I shouldn't have done. What I should have done is do what I always do and deal with it with a smile. And if I want to make a sarcastic fucking video, I'll make one and not be worried about making apologies for anything else. Fuck everybody who doesn't like a bit of humor. Fuck someone if they don't get the joke. Or fuck someone if they go out bullying people and then I make a video about their bullying. If everybody gets upset about it, I don't care. But what I'm not going to do is get myself emotional about any responses or anything that I get. I expect the worst from certain sections of our community. I always have done. But what always surprised me was that 95% of people are actually really cool. Like, that's why you guys are here. You're all really cool. So I need to remember to focus on the positive, which is most of the comments, most of the people, whether they agree or disagree, it's not about that. It's about the positivity in the interaction. And the other people realize Heisenberg's theory, you're never going to get 100% good people. This is the internet, baby. You've got to be prepared for all types, not just fair criticism, but unfair, unjust. And to be honest with you, one thing we always used to say in the old days, the more flack you get, the more likelihood is you're right over the target. So I apologize for the emotional rants and stuff like that. I should have still done the videos, but toned the emotion level down and not been so reactive. That's something I will go back to doing. No more letting my emotions get in the way, and go back to being a cold operator when I'm doing this. And my emotions I keep for life, family, things like that. And obviously the subjects that I cover, but not people on the internet who have all got their agendas, right? So I hope that makes some sense. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I really do appreciate it, especially on this test stream, which I thought was going to go horribly, if I'm honest with you, because I was literally setting this up as I was going live today. So you would expect that to go wrong, wouldn't you? To set it up and then go live in the same 10 minutes. But it worked. So I'm really glad about that. So although this is very costly, I'm gonna have to see. Anybody wants to go halves on me with a StreamYard year subscription, maybe the time to think about it. Other than that, we'll see. Anyway, I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. Thank you so much for joining me. And because you've been so good, I'm going to bore you again with my intro on on the way out, because I'm a big kid who wants to play with his toys. But thank you, seriously. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Tom Fury, Zero News. Calling it a day for now.
civil war, but you lack conviction. The fight to win.
Okay, I'll vote for Starman.
You never been intimidated by something you haven't done. You got me, you got you, don't feel alone, never feel it's just you. It's not just you, it's not just you. Oh, it's like a trick of the mind, but it's not just you. We have an army, it's not all the way. We are the people, and we
Commander Watt, don't be a cunt.
we have a heart, we have a head. We are
Kill everyone on the
fighting
bridge.
having a ball. They make a course correction for
You, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
Marxist shites with blood on their hands. 100 new dead, but for them it's okay. They went to uni, studied home economics. Yeah, that will save the day. They'll say we never heard a fly, and you can't call it a lie. They never laid a hand, they never took the land. They just let the people starve in a slave state.